Yeah, how do I introduce this? Do we just call this Where's
New
the Money?
show. A new show we're trying to call, and we're thinking of calling it Where's the Money?
Well, there's the introduction. Where's the money? That's what this show is about.
You ask me, where's the money? Where's the money? I mean, I don't know where the money is. I've never been good with figures, you know that. I don't know anything about math. It was never my good subject.
All right, for those of you who are a little confused, we are trying out a new show, and this show is called Where's the Money? We're testing the title. What do you think? Let us know. The idea is to throw up an app, see if it sticks on the wall, see if there's any way that this thing can make money. We don't know. They don't know, I think. And that's the great thing about this, is that the app makers, we don't know if this can make money. So we're going to take an app, and we're going to either praise it, we're going to see if there's any money into this, and hopefully we don't crucify too many apps, because this is a great industry, and we love innovation. I don't know any better way to describe what this is about. Doug?
Yeah, I think that's it. And it's not even necessarily about whether or not we think the app's good or not. It's there's just so many apps and companies starting up around ideas and hoping that they can find their way in 6 months to a year, 18 months to bring that revenue back in. And it's just taking a look at all these free apps that we use. Is there an exit for them? Is there growth, or are they going to be like Yelp?
Well, so let's our first app that we're gonna try this out is an obvious one, we think, because of it's a high profile app. It was launched in the fall of last year. The app is from Kevin Rose's company called Milk Inc., and it is OINK.
Today with Google Maps, Yelp, and Foursquare, we're good at telling you where to go and how to get there, but what we're missing is a quick and easy way to find out what to do once you're already there. In order to find out the best stuff, we need to give you the power to rate and rank things inside of places. For example, let's say you arrive at a new restaurant, say Samovar Tea Lounge in San Francisco. You'll instantly be able to see the most popular item on the menu, and you'll also be able to see if a friend has tried something before you and what they thought. And if you find something you like, it's just a single press to rank and share it with friends and followers. The other big feature that I love is that we compare things against each other. So if you check out a tag, say burger, we'll rank all the burgers at all the places and point you in the right direction to find the best one. But all this is just the beginning. As you rate things around you, you gain cred in tags you're most passionate about. So for example, right now, I'm a level 5 in sushi because I've rated tons of rolls and fish. And as I level up, I'll be placed on leaderboards and unlock more functionality.
Which is fun. I've actually already oinked my cat 4 times today.
You've oinked your cat. Now, you can't use that here. This is a family show. Well, when I look at this application, there's a lot of promise coming out of this. This is OINK, built by Milk, and Milk was raised about a 1.8 or close to $2 million from angel investors, some celebrity angel investors. Kevin Rose is much more of a celebrity. He's the ex-founder of Dig. And there was a lot of promise for this. When I got it, I tried it. I've played around with it. I've OINKed a bunch of stuff when it came out 88 days ago, and I haven't looked at it since. What does that tell you?
My count was, I think, 72 days. And it's interesting because it launched, I think, early November.
Yeah.
And in a month, it had like 150,000 users or downloads. And then I think Kevin Rose said at Le Web that it was like 40,000 active users, so every couple of days. I definitely stopped. And I think it's a great app to start with simply because, they're an app that's come out with kind of like the right pedigree of design. It's a very pretty app to look at. It's very fluid. Obviously, the big name factor that you mentioned, and even from their perspective, they said they don't really know what the business model is. I think they're kind of hiding it a bit. I think the business model is obvious when you look at all the apps that have come out like over the years, like Facebook, Foursquare, and Twitter, where you basically have this new service that grows out that they try to monetize based upon the user base that they have and the information that they have to sell. I think OINK is quite obviously trying to do that at the lowest possible level thing. So instead of it being Foursquare and locations or Facebook and ads based upon like what you share with your friends, it's just things around you, where you're going and what you're doing. But
how do you turn that into, like, how do you turn such a broad mandate into revenue?
Well, so I think Foursquare's had a pretty good, and I don't think they're even there yet. Or Facebook, if you look at them, it's that you have to provide an essential service that people enjoy, which grows the user base. And then once you have the user base, that's pretty much what you're selling, right? You're selling the users and you're selling the data. For Facebook, it was all about sharing kind of memories and events and photos with your immediate social group. With Foursquare, for me, the reason why I got on is because it was really valuable for me to know kind of where my friends were that night and let them know where I was when we were going out and hanging out. And then when we were there, trying to figure out, this bar is actually really good because they have a good discount, or this place is a great place to get food, or this coffee shop has a deal or a discount. With Milk, it's like they're trying to get to the benefits of that data without ever providing the kind of the beneficial experience off the front. Like it feels at a certain extent, when you have a free service, that means that what's being sold is you as the user. But there's no joy in me for oinking things, for tagging things. It feels like work.
Well, that's the key. They might have 150,000 people, 40,000 active users, and then we might be tagging a bunch of stuff. But you really need an army of people. You need many more than 150 or 160,000 people or 40,000 active users in order to be able to get this thing off the ground. Because the complaints that I hear about this application are very clear. Is that there's nothing around me. Nobody's oinked anything around me. It's just me and my city, and that's what happens when you build something so broad and spread yourself so thin that it's going to take an incredible amount of effort to be able to grow that base, so that a concentrated group, whoever you want to advertise, which is what it is, it's basically sponsorship and sponsored ads and driving activity to a location. But if you want that, you need volume, and nobody's going to accept 1 or 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, and I think that organic growth is going to be a real issue, because I've just been looking at I joined Facebook and I joined Foursquare. Twitter was different, but I joined those 2 apps because I was missing out on interactions with with conversation or interaction with my friends and close ones by not using those apps. For OINK, not so much, because it's not really providing me it's great if I know that my buddy Mark likes Skyrim. But I already know he likes Skyrim, so having him tag that for me isn't as useful as knowing where he is tonight, what he's doing, or seeing photos from the last time that we were hanging out playing Skyrim. Yeah. So getting that growth where your friends are kind of pushing upon you the app and it's expanding out that way, I think is going to be really difficult. I don't think that you need as much of a massive installed base as you're saying, because I know considering the short period of time they've been out, 150,000 downloads is extremely impressive. But Foursquare has already switched to they don't need their users to check in every day, because there's a 20% providing the data to the other 80%, so that that 80% can get useful information about what's going on and what's going around. They kind of hit that mass.
Well, but when it comes to that, I mean, Chris Hutchins, who's the I guess he's the business lead for OINK, for the product, was talking to the guys at the Next Web, and they said, we're not really sure if this is the product that we want. We don't know if we're going to make money off of this. And I think that's disingenuous in itself, to be able to come out with a product, promote it, put it under the banner of OINK and Milk and Kevin Rose, and then push it out to 150,000 people. Start driving those kind of OINKs and the kind of certainly. Locations or things, and getting these into the database, and then coming out and saying, we're really not sure, this is an experiment. And I think that's the challenge that a lot of these companies have, is that you're either in it or you're not. If you're going to turn this into something, don't waste our time using a product that you think you don't know if it's actually going to be a product.
Well, I think there's a little bit of covering their backsides on that in case they do have to pivot, or they find that I think Instagram's the obvious example of an app that wasn't what it was initially and what it's become. But I think part of it is because we're kind of more sophisticated as users now, where 2 years ago, checking into a place or broadcasting yourself socially, is still relatively new to most people. Yeah. Whereas now you can kind of see behind the veil in OINK, and you can see how everyone has seen the promoted tweets on Twitter, or they've seen the Facebook ads, or how Facebook has changed from a service really designed to maximize ad impressions, but you're locked in already. Yep. So I think a more savvy user base kind of will look at new apps where, if it doesn't provide one amazing thing that they want to do, which is, like in Instagram's case, taking photos, making them more beautiful than you possibly could with just on your camera, and then sharing them with a group. There's nothing that I want to share through OINK, and there's nothing that there's no relevant information that I'm receiving through OINK, and there's no social experience that I'm missing out if I don't use OINK. And
so there's no reason to use it every day.
Yeah.
And so do we think that this can actually make some money? Do you think that this is actually a revenue generator? Where's the money in this? Is there any?
I think there is, but I don't think it's in OINK the app unless they can find that one singular thing, simply because all of the things that they do that are interesting could be added feature sets of other applications that I already use regularly, such as Instagram. Or like the one thing that they were really kind of got on was the expertise element, where the more that you talk about it, like, sushi, you become recognized as a sushi expert, and they connect you with other sushi experts. So there's some discovery there, but Foursquare's already added that feature when they started stacking their badges based upon repeated check-ins and what you're doing. So that was a value add to an app that I use regularly versus a key differentiator for an app that I'm not using.
Yeah, certainly OINK and the features of OINK are exactly that. It's a feature of a much broader product, whether that's Foursquare, that's Facebook. And the challenge is going to be many. I don't know that this is going to survive in its incarnation as a revenue generator. We don't know. We're in February now, and we haven't heard anything since LeWeb about their numbers, and they haven't updated the app in over a month now, in 6 weeks. What does that say? So who knows if these guys can turn this into revenue? But the celebrity of Kevin Rose will always mean that every app that he puts out will generate, 150, 200,000 downloads.
Oh yeah, most certainly, and it's something where not everything that they do will be earned simply because Kevin Rose has already earned a cachet and money and contacts that'll allow them. They haven't updated the app in, what you said, 6 weeks, probably because they're just sitting and watching and seeing what their users are doing, or they have the funding to work on a major new revision. That they don't have to fix small bugs and minor iterations that you see with other startups, simply because when they launched with a very polished app.
Yep. It's beautiful. Can't argue there. Design, they win in design. It's a great app, and it's a great looking app, but more of a nuisance, I think. And I think
feels like work. It makes me feel like a sucker for using it.
Yeah.
Which is something that you never want to say about an application.
Nope.
Unless like I feel like a sucker for sticking with Facebook, but it's too late because everyone's there.
Everybody's a sucker.
So, yeah.
Well, that's it. Our first episode of Where's the Money? We are looking for the money in this application. I think we both agree that OINK, while promising, has an opportunity to make money for somebody else or in a different incarnation. Whether or not the app does make money or the data makes money is still to be seen.
Yeah. So send us a tweet, post a comment, let us know about the next app that we could check out, or applications that you're wondering about how they're going to make money.
That's it. Where's the money?
Where's the money?
I ain't got none. Neither will Kevin Rose with the OINK app.
Harsh.
Later.